Evening folks, and welcome to this demonstration of my Casio AQ-230. Now this is a brand new modern Casio from 2015, but it looks almost identical to and has the same functions as the AQ-320, which came out in 1981. So why are Casio still making a watch that's almost exactly the same as it was all those decades ago? Well, in my mind it's because it's such a lovely clean design, especially with the white face, and it's got all the functions you really need on a watch. But there are differences in the material and technology of this watch against the original. But first, let's just have a look at the function. So this is the main time mode, and we've got digital time there and a normal time, which can be different. So you've already got two different time zones if you need them there. You press this button, this is the mode button. You can display the date instead of the time. It's got an alarm, of course, just a single one with an hourly chime feature. There's a dual time zone, which actually gives you 3 time zones if you include the hands. And finally it's got a stopwatch. Just a single button to operate that and hold it down to reset it. So that's it. No light, I'm afraid, but all the functions you really need. And as I say, lovely, lovely clean design to it. But just to compare it against a much earlier version of, it's not quite an AQ-320, this one's actually an AT-552, which has got an extra feature. So apart from the obvious difference of the display being at the top on this particular watch, the case on the new watch is resin with the metal coating, and it does feel very lightweight, whereas the original watches would have had a base metal case with the same chrome casing. And the base metal watches tended to you tend to get corrosion and pitting on the underside where it's against your skin, which won't happen with the resin watches, but they don't have quite the same weight. The other big difference, the original watches had a crown to set the hands, so you pull the crown out and it's got hacking movement for the second hand. This one hasn't got a second hand at all. In fact, the original AQ-320 didn't have a second hand either, but it did have a crown operated setting function for the hands, whereas this one, you just hold the button in at the side and the motor moves the hands around for you. Hold it in long enough, there we go, and it'll whiz around like that. So that's how you set the watch. So those are the main two differences between the AQ-320 and the new AQ-230. As I said, this one's an AQ. It's not an AQ. It's an AT-552, and it's got an extra feature, which is it's got a calculator, and that works by a gesture-controlled touchscreen. So you swipe. That's the number 1. Do a plus sign, and another 7, then equals 8. So yeah, amazing technology considering that was 1984, isn't it? But yeah, lovely design, and they're still making it a similar watch today. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Cheerio.